Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Super Luigi Galaxy 2. In the last episode, I sounded like death on horseback, and no longer do, because it is indeed 2.5 to 3 weeks later, so my voice is mostly recovered. I do stress the mostly though, it's been one of the worst throat infections I've had for quite some time. So I may still sound a little bit gravelly, but at least I don't sound like I'm about to fall apart at any moment. We're here in the kitchen, where we just unlocked with 30 stars the Boy Bass Galaxy, which has some wonderful music. Let's go into it. It's only got one episode, because it's a one-shot, well, 1 star, because it's a one-shotter, so let's growl. Let's growl? That's not a word, you meant to say roll, idiot. Oh, beginning of a new session. Still a little bit rusty. It's been a while. So, our goal in this level is pretty straightforward. It's just get to the top of the floating fortress. If we talk to this Guillermo, I don't think have we met Guillermo's yet? Perhaps we haven't.
This is a floating fortress, we call it Boy Base, but nobody's using it now, so we're just here for upkeep.
And there's some penguins swimming around as well, what do you say?
Guess what would happen if we blew up the underwater weight? Come on, guess! Give up. That tower in the middle of water would float right up to the surface.
Well, there's our goal for now then. Did you notice that? The music changes when you're underwater to a underwatery version, which I think is very clever. Here is the weight they were talking about, and how would we destroy it? Well, as you can see, it's one of those crates that you can lead a bullet bill to. But underwater, you don't have bullet bills. You have... That was amazing, the game actually obliged. You have torpedo heads, which chase after you like this. And they're a bit easier to lead, if anything, because you've got 3 dimensions. So first I'm going to start off by cracking this one. Oh, that was weird. It looked like it was going to miss, and then it just kind of came towards it. Oh well, I'm not actually complaining, I guess. Let's try going down this pipe. So this spits us right out on the bottom, as you can see. We're actually on the underside of where we just were, which I think is very cool. And we shouldn't have come here, so I'm going to go straight back in here. Let's just pretend that didn't happen. Because there's a secret star through there, which I specifically don't want to do yet. So, ignoring all of that, let's actually just lure this guy over to the weights. You can hear how close they are, because they make a winging noise. And I think he's still on me, which is good. Well, it certainly sounds like he's still on me, so let's just try and get around the other side of this weight. I believe he may have gone into the propellers. It's a very real risk that that happened. Well, let's lure another one out. Oh, that sounds like we've lured another one out successfully. Wonderful. Where am I? Where is it? It's there. Okay, where is... Here we go. Whoop! Whoopsie daisy! I'm low on the old air at the moment. As you can see, that... I was about to describe what it does and then realised the game was showing you better than I could describe it. We're actually... Asphyxiation is a very real threat at the moment. Oh, it's doing that weird thing, and this happens in real life, where it's really hard. Whew, it's really hard when you're more than about, like, 10 meters down. It's really hard to judge how far the surface is from you. And basically, the surface of the sea, from 10 meters down, always feels like it's about 10 meters away, if not less. And you're like, oh, I'm fine to, like, especially if you're diving, like, without any breathing apparatus. By the way, if you get hit by the bubble, you're going to fuck off somewhere. So obviously time it, so you're not. Here, we need to just jump up onto this... It's not a thwomp, is it? It's kind of like a thwomp, but it's not. Yeah, especially if you're diving without any kind of, like, breathing stuff. You'll be down at the bottom and you're like, ooh, I feel like I'm running out of breath a little bit. I'm going to return to the surface. And they're like, oh, you just... Oh, ball sack. Oh, well, there's a sling star here for a reason. Launch star. Still can't get those two the right way around. But yeah, then it can really kind of fuck you over because you're like, oh, the surface is... I'm going up, straight up vertically, and the surface of the water is not getting any closer. It's a really unpleasant optical illusion, and I'm speaking from experience here. Especially because when you're free diving down to, like, what, 15 plus meters, it's really weird because you wouldn't think it necessarily, but naturally humans float. But they don't when it gets deeper down. Like, because if you're wearing, like, a foamy wetsuit... Oh, ball sack! Oh, got a piece of a sling star. I've kind of jebbed ahead of where I should actually be at the moment. No, what I was going to say is, yeah, if you're wearing like a neoprene wetsuit, because it's foam, it's got a lot of air trapped in it, so it makes you float naturally, until as you go deeper and deeper. Oh, interesting. Ah, yes, I need that to progress. So if we bounce on this thing's head, it sends us spinning up. And we need to lure it over here to get up to this thing. But yeah, then as you get deeper the air in that suit compresses, and you go from floating to sinking. So suddenly you start swimming down, Then you start gliding down, then below about 10 meters you're just completely falling down under your own steam, and it's quite scary, because then you can go really deep without realizing to. Which is always a scary experience where you're like, I've come down much deeper than I'm supposed to on one breath. But it's also weird, because even the air in your lungs compresses, and so then you feel like you haven't got much breath, but then you go up a few meters, and your lungs re-expand, and then your brain's like, oh no, don't worry, it's fine, we have still got breath. You kind of get your breath back by surfacing a little bit. Freediving, weird. Right, as you can see, I haven't really mentioned at all what I've been doing, but I have been gathering Polestar pieces. I think it said Polestar there, which sounds like some kind of voting system. That was not a good joke. Again, you can tell I'm at the beginning of a recording session because my genius comedy has not yet warmed up. Oh dear. So we've got one piece here, and then I believe the final piece is just above that green fellow up there. Yes, it is. Wonderful. Thank you for the camera for showing me that as well. So if we bounce on him as well... Oh, ow, oi, these silly things. Silly things! Ah! Tiny top maniacs. No, top men, they're called. And there we go. I really like this level, as I may have mentioned. Because it's just a really good bit... Many of the levels that you'll notice I like in this game are just really nice bits of 3D platforming, and this is no exception. So here we just have to get round to the top side of this, what is very clearly a Pokeball, which is mildly interesting. Like, look at that and tell me this isn't some sort of Pokeball. And much like a Pokeball, it opens, except much unlike a Pokeball, it opens from the top rather than the bottom, because here there's another laser spewing thing, but it's got a nut on it. I think that's a very cool moment when it opens to form like a sphere of water. So, of course, swim down, it's as simple as that to grab the star. He says. Completely incapable of grabbing the star. Your turning circle is not great underwater, is the only issue. Let's grab those bits, I guess. There we go. Ah, first star of the session. It tastes good. Right, let's head over to the bedroom now, and we're going to go back to one of my favourites, the Gusty Garden Galaxy, to do episode number 2 on it. I keep calling them episodes, they're just stars. So this one is a fantastic name, The Dirty Tricks of Major Boroughs. This follows the classic rule with Mario's Galaxy. Really had to, ooh, that had a real brain fart there. I was just like, my brain was saying sunshine, and then it just stopped saying anything, and I just started going like some kind of weird snake. You'll notice these question mark coins. If you hit them, another one appears further down the line. As for what they actually do, I'm going to save that for another episode, because it's basically they start you on a path which will end up with a secret star, which is wonderful, and not what we want to do here. We want to take on Major Boroughs, and like I was saying with Mario Galaxy, there's a traditional rule, a general rule, which is that if a level has someone's name in it, that someone is probably a boss of the level. Here is a mole. If we ground pound near the mole, he pops about the ground. Spin him at that point to damage him. I believe there was supposed to be... I'm an idiot. There's a star bunny you talked to at the beginning who says, oh no, these moles are digging up our lovely garden, which I was supposed to do, to explain the plot of what's going on here, and I utterly did not do so. But here, once again, we just need to take out all the moles we can. I think they have names. As in, like, the species has names, called, like, Underminers or something. It's not Underminers, because that's the weird not villain at the end of The Incredibles. That's then the villain for, like, the first 5 minutes of The Incredibles 2. Which I thought was nice that they at least did deal with that, but it was also a game, if I remember correctly, which I assume is now non-canon, that there was a game called The Incredibles, Rise of the Underminer, which was not great, I don't think, though I never actually played it, obviously. I don't know why I said obviously, then that's not necessarily obvious at all. Ah, we get onto something slightly strange here. Well, do we? Oh, let's sneak our way onto this little vine planet. Oh, have I gone to a crap one? No, I haven't. So this vine planet here is entirely optional and is just for bits. I was going to say that. I wasn't sure whether that made something else appear. So I'm just going to generally follow the bit trail. I suppose it takes me somewhere important. You, give me more bits. There we go. Right, let's follow these and see where they go. I'll take that, thank you. I guess eventually this is just going to lead me off the planet, but in the meantime... I'm kind of trying... Well, actually, no need to necessarily... Well, I guess it's always good to gather bits. Because A, they give you 1-ups, and B, they give you... eventually Hungry Luma levels. Though I don't think we're scheduled to do a Hungry Boy... Actually, no, we're going to be doing a Hungry Boy next episode, so yes. Ow, do we need a couple of them, can get hold of them. But yes, our main goal here is actually this disturbing planet, because there's, well, it's a series of planets. There's 3 apples here, and they've got pegs on them. If you ground pound the pegs, something fucking weird happens. You basically make a gigantic worm go from one apple to the other, and it looked quite grim, the worm, I always think. And you can see how this proceeds. I'm going to kill you, because hopefully you'll have some coins. Nope, bugger. Oh, there we go. Oh, you're only bits, that's no fun. Oh, these rolling rocks up ahead. I meant to show this off at some point, but I don't think I ever actually did. You can actually destroy these. You notice how they've got a kind of red core? Spin specifically that red core, and you will... Ah, balls. And you will successfully destroy the bulldog, which is quite cool. Most areas, they spawn repeatedly. Ah, only one of the pegs on this last one actually makes the worm go forward. That's a fucking goofy-ass looking worm. They're weird, those 3 planets. I don't know what their beef is. Anyway, with that done, we approach not the right planet. Basically... Oh, a life shroom. That's very nice to have before the boss. I'll have that, thank you very much. Don't go... Oh, ball stack if I die trying to get a life shroom. That'd be the stupidest thing ever. There's like a proto-planet just before you get to it. Does this give me a 1-up then? No, but it gives me bits, which I'll always take. Bits are a delayed 1-up. Well, presuming you get 50 of them, which I didn't. Once you've gathered everything you want here, head off to the boss planet. So, this is Major Burrows. For the first hit on him, he's not going anywhere near you at all. There you go. Got a ground pound when he pops about the ground, and then spin him again. He's only attacking the star bunny at the beginning. God, you can just hear his jowls, can't you? So unlike the other ones, you can't make him pop out of the ground. You've got to wait for him to pop out of the ground naturally and then ground pound. He'll chase you for a while, and this can be a bit difficult as Luigi, because as Luigi, you're faster than him, so you actually have to zigzag a bit to allow him to catch you up, which always feels very strange. There's your moment, ground pound, and he'll run off again. Hit him again. Is it just me, or does he look like the villain from Toy Story 3? We've got... Oh, I tried to say several things at once. Spoilers if you've not seen Toy Story 3, but also it's been like 10 years, so see it. If you ground pound here, he will then come straight at you again and get ready to do it a second time to make him pop out. And then, bam! Yeah, Major Burrows is probably one of the easiest bosses in the game. It's certainly... So all the boss levels, I think literally every... No, not all of them, but most of them have a Daredevil comet, like a Daredevil run option. And Major Burrows' Daredevil run is basically the easiest Daredevil run in the game, because you technically only need 2 hits on him. Like, during the first hit, he's only after the Star Bunny, so doing him without being damaged is actually really straightforward. So he's a nice one for that. Ah, yes. I'm very excited for what's upcoming now, because this is another goddamn fantastic level. Because we've unlocked a new level in the bedroom. Enemy base spotted. We're detecting massive energy spikes. What are they doing there? Yes, it's time for the boss of the bedroom. Bedroom. Oh. I don't know why that sounded wrong to me. That was weird. I don't know, the brain didn't. But yes, this is, because we kind of alternate between bosses being Bowser and Bowser Jr., this is a Bowser boss one, and this one is also bloody fantastic. Introducing Bowser's Dark Matter Planet, which has only 1 star, which is Darkness on the Horizon. And as you can see, it's going to be a fun one. Oh, I love these Bowser levels. They're so good. And the music is the best. As in, I like this music anyway. Like, it's not... I'm not one of those people. Well, I sometimes am, depends what it is, but I don't like to be one of those people. Ooh. As you may have noticed, the nasty goo kills you instantly. Oh dear. Yeah, I don't want to be those people who like a song just purely because it's nostalgic, and I have no particular nostalgia for 2000. For 2000? Why did I say 2000? For Super Mario 64, which is what this is originally from. I like this track in Super Mario 64 as well. Probably prefer this track to that game overall. So you can see there's a lot of goopy shit going on, and now we're at gravity arrows, so keep an eye on them when jumping between platforms. Here, for example, you want to stay in the crook of this L because gravity's about to shift, and that will kill you if you're not positioned correctly. Oh dear me. That was a good recovery, actually, all things considered. All things considered. Yeah, that is a phrase, and that is how you say it. Right, let's land on this one, and then once again we need to be in the crook because gravity's about to point us down into it. And we'll grab that and go over the top of that nasty looking... We get a final look at what the black holes actually really look like there. Which is appropriate, because between, I think, this episode and the last episode, we actually saw, like, they actually took a picture of a black hole in... Well, they took it ages ago, but they showed a picture of a black hole in real life. And it looked surprisingly like that. This is the big thing with this level, is dark matter, which eats holes in things. As you can see there, those holes that are moving around there are absolutely real, you will fall through. Equally, those little squares there, you see, when they fall onto the lifts, will be holes in the lift that go, though it looks like nice bright sky, believe me, that's going straight through to the goopy ploopy. I don't know why I called it that, and pretty much wish I hadn't. A jump can clear them, but I just tend to avoid them altogether because it's less bullshit that way generally. Let's come down here and grab the one up, and then we need to quickly vacate the premises up to the top here. And now we get into another bit. Oh god, is it me? Ooh, that was a bit close. That was a bit risky, but I managed it. It's given us one-ups out the wazoo here, so I guess it thinks we're not as good as we are. Now here, just do little jumps and get ready for a gravity fuck. So, I always think this... Oh, that's... there's a level in Super Mario Galaxy 2 called Bowser's Gravity Gauntlet, and I always think this one's called Bowser's Gravity Gauntlet, but it's not. This is Bowser's Dark Matter Plant. Conceptually very similar, though. Let's grab that, and where do we need to be? We need to be on this side, because then this will pull us to the right, and then we'll be safe there. But we're about to move to gravity going up to the top of the screen, so that means we now have to switch down to being on that side, so that it'll then pull us up. You just got to really keep track of gravity quite a lot here. And then finally, when we're going to bang our head on the other gravity, go along here, and then off to the left will gravity then push us into the square. There we go. And now we need to get off quickly, because if we get you into that green area kills you. Finally make it up into this notch, and we're there. And I believe that's actually the end of this episode? Level. Let's get some coins. Or is there more that I forgot? Oh! You bastard game. Don't you do this to me. Okay, it didn't do this to me. Well, I mean, a lot depends on whether... Yes, that lift does come back down. Good. I was prepared to be quite annoyed with myself there. Ooh, that's a cool kind of gloopy sea in the background. I guess that's all the dark matter from the dark matter plant. You, give me stairs. Thank you. Apparently that's an ability that Lumas have. If you... I was going to say if you need it, grab a live stream. We have no idea whether you're going to need it or not, but you can probably guess from the fact it's giving us a live stream and what this looked like last time, what's coming up here.
It's you! That's it, Luigi. I'm just gonna stomp you into space bits.
I think he said exactly the same last time. So, the battle fight proceeds largely the same as last time, except it kicks off in a harder gear and there's fewer places to hide already. He can do that spinny thing there. So he'll always do one of those, there we go, spinny attacks before doing a ground pound. So now we need to hit him here again and then get round to the other side and spinny do him again. It's a pretty bit of music, the Bowser fight music. I said music twice there. So he's going to do some stompy things. We can still dodge the stompy things on this green thing, but this gets very messy very quickly. So he'll do now 2 of those spinny attacks, and then he'll now do a ground pound. And once again, we need to get him on the tail. Oh, bloody hell, he really curved there. Again, he should be about here. There we go. And now I think it's still only 1 hit here rather than a second hit. Yeah. So we'll leave him over there. Ooh. Coin came out, which could be semi-useful, but we're doing alright. Now he's going to do a lot of nonsense before we get another chance to hit him. And then, as you can imagine, this time he will do 3 of his weird, spinny, punching attacks before we get a chance to hit him again. This is where it gets real messy, when there's just a lot of electricity and fire just launching itself around here. So that's 1 spinny attack, that's 2 spinny attacks. Ow! And then, oh, if he hits you at any point in those, it completely resets his cycle. So he does 1, then he does 2, and then he does 3, and then he'll do a ground pound onto here. Oh god! Oh, that was very close. And he should turn up about here. What the? That's not where he was supposed to be at all. Oh, you little bastard, get the fuck... Oh, he's all on the piss, wildly. What do you... There you go, that'll do. And now we actually have to do a second wallop. And wallop! And then let's finish him.
Not bad. I guess I chose the right guy to be my arch enemy. At least you always put up a fight. But it's too bad for you, because my master plan is almost complete. Good luck, Luigi. Tough luck, Luigi, even that's much worse.
I love how he's also morphed from Sean Connery into Richard Nixon over the course of this thing. Oh, dear me. I also love that the fact that it is the same boss fight, as in, it feels like it's just a continuation of the same one, but that it's like, it's the same process, but it's already like you're a couple of cycles into the last one, so it's like you just pick up where the last fight took off. Some people think it's lazy, basically, every time you fight Bowser it's the same boss, but I think it feels like one boss that you're continuously building on every time you do it. Anyway, as you may have noticed, I really like them. But that's beside the point, because we have got a grand star, so we'll end the episode there. Thank you very much, and good day.